Hi, this is Nick. Welcome to my channel again. This is a video about all the receivers and amplifiers from the vintage world I've been testing over the past 3 years. I've decided to make some rankings and show to you all. I know that the audiophiles love the idea of rankings. It brings out lots of nice discussions as well. How do you get this done? And who said this is better than the other? So let's sit down and enjoy the process and the results. I hope you like them, and at least I hope they generate lots of discussion. Let's go. So back again. So what I decided to do about 3 years ago is to test various things I had lying around, and also to buy some new ones. My use case was, how do I get good vintage quality audio sound for my Klipsch Fortes and the rest of my setup? The magical word there is Klipsch Forte, meaning high sensitivity, meaning I didn't need lots of watts. Watts are good to have, but they weren't a requirement for me. Also, I'd heard that the low watt receivers from many manufacturers in that era sounded better than the higher ones. So that was the trigger for me. I set a limit for myself, $1,000. So if you're looking for some super audiophile snobbery setups, I don't have any of those. Sorry. I promise I will eventually, but for the time being, this is a low budget story. So how much bang can I get for my buck? Sound good? I wanted things that looked the part as well. Yeah, so the process was I bought an audio switch, onto which I attached all my sources. From the audio switch, there are two cables that go to amp A or amp B, the two things I'm A being. Same type of cables. So I've tried to eliminate things that differentiate the sound. Tone control is always set to flat. I listen at 75 dB and 85 dB. So I measure beforehand the outputs with a dB meter. Trying to also take that element away of the noise level differentiation. Yeah, and I use also my secret weapon is my wife. My wife is my control evaluator. So because she doesn't carry any of my audiophile baggage, and she has a good ear, so she can tell the differences between these amps really, really easily. She can tell other things as well. She can tell when I've changed styluses from my turntable from across the room down the hallway. So she's really good. So I also run everything through the control evaluator. Yeah, and I try various genres of music, from 60s jazz recordings all the way up to things of this decade. I try to keep things mixed up. It's a combination of jazz, rock, acoustic. Also, I listen to at least 2-3 sources. So my turntable, my streamer, and my CD, at least, sometimes also FM radio. I like FM radio. People don't generally, but I do. It actually brings out differences in me quite easily. So that was the setup, and let's look at the results now. So I have here either 8 of them, and I tested these in terms of sound quality, what I call facilities and abilities, meaning for example, how many sources can they connect? Do they have nice and easy and convenient switching? Again, that my wife can use as well. Something that's ergonomic, something that's not going to confuse people. Do they have pre-outs? Maybe I like that. Do they have tone controls? I like the flexibility. I know it's a hot topic. The purists do not agree. I think that amps in the below $1,000 category at least sometimes can benefit from this. At any rate, I think it's good to have if handled properly. Obviously, if I feel that it really deteriorates the sound, then it doesn't get a good ranking in that sense. One of these is Class A, for example. That is an ability and a facility. Yeah, so the combination of how flexible is it, and also how many goodies it has. Then build quality and serviceability. Build quality also for me means it's not just it's the tactile stuff I can feel. I can feel, and also how it looks inside. Is it quality components or not? A friend of mine does all my servicings, who's a qualified professional, and I also get his opinion, so it's not just me. Is it easy to service? Is there a quality build inside? Is it built to a good standard? And then on top of it, as I said earlier, my own tactile impression of that. And also ergonomics and beauty. Obviously, part of the vintage appeal is also, is this, is it eye candy? That bundle. And then the value for money. How they sound compared to what I spend for them or the prices that I see for them on the internet. I usually take an average of all the prices I see. I use Hi-Fi Shark a lot and just try to take, find a mean. So on a mean level, are they worth it? Excuse me. So, going from the top then, sound quality. The two with the highest sound quality are the two on the top, the Harman HK430 and the Electro Companion ECI2. It's very close between them. Actually, the HK just recently, 2 years ago, I think, edged out the Electro as my favorite. The Electro is a high pedigree model. It's the most expensive of all these. It's also Class A for, I think, its first 10 watts. It's 2x50. Really good sound, but there's something about the HK in terms of sound stage openness, airiness, how it sort of puts everything in the right place in an open way. Sort of like they have more dimensions to the instruments. And also a sort of down the middle type sound, so it's not veiled or muffled or too sweet. It's also not too bright or analytical or boring. All these terms people use, dark, warm. I don't think really much of that applies to the HK. It's just really down the middle. It's slightly analytical, I would say, but no sibilance. It doesn't bug you. You can listen to it all day. So really good. The Electro comes right after that. It has it has some really strong points. So everything comes out of the black. So there's a quality black background. Good lower level. It's also very open. It's not quite as engaging, and everything there's not quite as airy and open. as on the HK. People say the HK benefits also because of its dual power supply. Maybe the case, I don't know. But yeah, but it's right up there. Next, in terms of sound quality, is the Marantz 2220B. A very nice machine. I recently did a comparison between that and the HK. Yeah, I'm not fully into the Marantz 3 Martini thing. It's in third place. What can I say? It's not quite as clear from the mid-range up. Mid-bass and bass, mid-bass, and lower mid-range are its strong points. Fairly open, fairly articulate, but not to the level of the other two, even though it's been serviced. So there's not quite as much sparkle, and it is missing some impact and power, especially when you crank it up more than halfway. It there's not enough juice there, is my opinion, even for my Klipsch Fortes, which have, I think, 99 dB sensitivity or something. So this is an amplifier that you have to sort of, I don't know. I imagine it being good in a smallish room for my morning coffee, that type of thing. Nonetheless, it's a contender. My Marantz PM66, which I have from quite a while back, obviously doesn't have those power issues that the other Marantz does. It's a lot stronger. I think it's 2x60 or 2x70, I forget. Good, but compared to the previous ones, the sound is a bit sort of like I'm on the campfire eating my marshmallows, which is okay, but it's a bit sort of rounded and very comfortable, a bit too comfortable for my liking. What would I consider another amp in the same territory? Oh yeah, the NAD 7020 is more or less in that sort of maybe in between the two Marantzes in terms of sound quality for me. Well-rounded, not quite as articulate or airy as the HK or the Electro, but very cohesive, very put together. There's nothing really seriously wrong with it across the whole audio spectrum, and the way it brings things together for a budget amp, I think it's spot on. It's good. Sansui 881, I don't know, this may surprise people. I know it's highly praised. Didn't do it for me. A bit too warm, a bit too, I don't know, not veiled, but sort of subdued, I think is the word for it. The sound is there, it's spread across, but it's, I don't know, it's a step. It doesn't grab you as much as some of the other ones. It's lower keyed, which is okay if that's what you want. If you've got really aggressive speakers you're trying to tame, that might work for you. Last but not least is in that sense, is the Pioneer SX440. Very cute little amp. Yeah, it didn't really have any guts to it. It was warmish, nice sounding, but not, the soundstage was not wide enough. It was a bit narrow, and there was no blossom that I like, or openness in the mid range, the upper mid range. So it was a bit limited in what it could do. Moving on, facilities and abilities. I'm not going to go through every one, but there were some that are noteworthy. NAD 7240. Oh, I forgot to talk about that in the earlier section. Yeah, like the 97020, like 97020, but a bit more blandish and lacking in character was the sound. But for facilities and abilities, it was very complete. I mean, this thing it has everything. I mean, I can't think of a vintage audio facility that the NAS 7240 doesn't have. It has tone controls. It has a loudness button. It has pre-out. It has some kind of filter, if I remember correctly, for the bass. It has 8 ohm, 4 ohm selector. It's got this power envelope, which you can feel. Really good power management. It has huge power reserves for 41 amp. Out of this world. So the power envelope is a good thing. I don't know. It's got a phono stage. It's decent. It's got everything. It's got a good receiver as well, above average. So this thing is really packed and really convenient. And surely you'll find a use for it somewhere. And the Electro, this might surprise people. It's not really that it has that many facilities. For example, it's lacking a phono stage. There are no tone controls. But it has everything else, and it's also Class A. So I think that makes up for it. And the others are more restricted in what they offer. The HK, which I love a lot, is really limited in that sense. It has only one useful aux input. Tragic. Even for vintage, I think this is tragic. No pre-outs. Okay, it's got a tape loop. Okay, it's a vintage receiver. Yeah, I think it's limited. So other than that, the others are rather normal. Build quality and serviceability. Two favorites here are the Electro and the Marantz. The Electro is just Euro chic, and I had the one that has the marble faceplate. Sorry, not marble. It's granite. Really, this real European sort of quality ergonomics and style there. I had the handlebars, really nice. And the Marantz 2020B. I mean, the whole 2020, the whole 22 series. You can't go wrong, right? They literally have everything people like about vintage equipment of that era. It's got the silver face, the silver and black sort of play with each other, against each other. Very good. It's shiny. It's well built. It just looks like it belongs in a 1970s movie. Okay, so yeah, and it's built well, solid, chunky, built to a high standard, inside and out. Inside it's a beauty, wonderful machine, easy to service as well. So those two are the tops for that category. The HK is a close third, so I think it's built to a high standard. It's also easily serviceable. The fact that it's dual power supplies, I think, is also a positive from a build quality side. Yeah, so that's quite easily a third choice. The Sansui 881 is also pleasant, as is the Pioneer. So lots of good machines there. As I said, I think the Electro and the Marantz stand out. Value for money, I think the HK is pretty much king in that sense. I paid about $200 for it. I think maybe they're a little bit more now, but still, they're not nowhere near as expensive as the Marantzes, for example, of this world, and the Sansuis. And the Pioneers. I had a hard time finding a cheap Pioneer. Yeah, I think it's a really good deal for $200. The NAS 7020, as well, as I said in another video recently, I think it's an audiophile bargain. I think it's entry-level audiophile. Silly money. It cost me like $100. The other net is also good value, the 7240, but not quite as much as the 7020. And then it goes downhill from there. Obviously, you're not going to find me ranking the Marinces and the Sansuis of this world or the Pioneers as good value for money, because that's just the market dynamics. It's not the fault of the machines. They're just in such high demand that they are expensive, period. So value for money is not something that characterizes these machines. So there you have it. That's my ranking. Trusty HK is still on top, but there are other machines that are now coming close to it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm open to advice on what my next machine should be, so give me your opinions about whatever sub 1000 receiver or amps you would recommend I try from that era. I am considering another Pioneer and another Sansui to give them a second chance. Open to recommendations. I was thinking about the Sansui 517 and the Pioneer SX 636 or whatever it was. Those two. I'm also considering Sony receiver from the 7000 series or one of the VFETs. Open to recommendations. Other brands you might also want. I'm hearing good things about Onkyo stuff from that era, but I don't know specifics. Whatever you think is relevant to what I described here, and you think I might have fun testing. And give me your own opinions on the rankings. I don't want to start a ranking discussion war here, but I'm happy to get people's opinions. So, thanks for listening. I hope it was informative, and see you in the next video. Have a good day. Nick out.